This is the review. Hold on, I'm gonna set up something. 1 second. Okay, so this is my review of the 20 the second season of Doctor Who of Disney, the second season of the Disney Doctor Who. Well, ah, oh, so all the parts that had the Doctor in it, I actually really liked. I did not mind that he cried at scenes where it really seemed relevant to it. When he loses somebody, he cries. But but I would say the companion is very, like in the past, people had said that they thought that Disney was getting away from the wokeness. They thought things were going to get better. Things were going to get back to the golden age of the Doctor Who era. But no, this she complains when the doctor scans her DNA, saying, I didn't give you consent to scan my DNA structure. They're putting wokeness in the Doctor Who, and that does not need to be there. They're changing the whole thing of giving us a companion to Doctor Who that does not want to be a companion, that complains about everything the Doctor is doing, everything that makes the Doctor the Doctor. Nobody else complained to him about this. So, and then she kept complaining, saying, "Get me home, get me home, get me home." I I'd say this episode was kind of like Stargate, but then the last 10 minutes kind of felt like a Saturday Night Live skit that you expect them come out and say, surprise, but no, it just then it was like if I had to say something of what it reminded me of, it kind of reminded me of the movie Lost in Space, but only with the last 5 minutes being completely woke. And she treated the doctor no other companion has ever treated her. Treated him. Well, technically, he was a her at one point, so it's okay to say that. But uh, but man, I would say this season so far, in the first episode, is my complete worst. It's the worst. It's the worst episode. It's the worst season. Makes, yeah, I'd say it makes my entire ranking of the previous season irrelevant because they're all better than this one. This, I would say, is the worst Doctor Who episode I've ever seen, and Miss Belinda is the worst companion to Doctor Who in the history of Doctor Who. And they kind of made it bad, they kind of made it bad that people used to name stars you know, after people, like the stars in the planetary systems. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but they made it sound like that caused the entire revolution of all that stuff, you know? Like, that could make. Ugh, never mind. It's complicated. You'll have to watch the episode. But I mean, people did all the stuff like that in the '90s, and nobody ever complained. Nothing ever happened. They would just name a star in the sky, and nothing bad would ever happen. Not it was something that even in the show it happens, and she doesn't really think anything about it. But yeah, so, yeah, I mean, even years pass and nothing happens. But yeah, I think it was like 6 years or so. I don't know. It was a number of years. Oh yeah, yeah, like 10 years, and but yeah. So yeah, so it just is such a. Oof, it's I mean, just so yeah. This episode, in my opinion, is the worst episode ever to have been made by Doctor Who, not because, well, oh, okay. I'll just leave it up to all of you to see what I'm talking about. But I will at least say that Miss Belinda is, in my opinion, the worst companion because of what she says to the Doctor. You know, I mean, this is the first one that ever said all this to the Doctor, ever. You know, all the other ones respected the Doctor. She's fighting him tooth and nail. So I'm just saying, you're not supposed to treat the Doctor that way. But I will say, I am, uh, I do not like this episode. I hate this episode. This episode I hate. But no. I will say I hate the episode more where the monsters are on that planet and they're eating everybody. That I hate more than this one. But it's pretty close. No, it's second. So I'd say this is the second worst episode ever done by Doctor Who. The first was the other one I told you about. But I'd say this is a horrible, horrible, horrible episode. And I'd say, yeah, I'd say it, only a second to the one where all humanity is eaten except a certain amount of people. But yeah. So yeah, this is the second worst ever in my opinion. But yeah, she's the worst companion ever to be with Doctor Who. Yeah, so I definitely am not going to be collecting any memorabilia of her. That's definitely sure. This horrible, horrible, horrible episode. I don't even know why they did this. It's like I thought we were going to be done with all the wokeness. If you think I'm talking bad about it, wait till everybody else talks about it. I'm sure I'm not the only one that notices all this. People are going to be having a field day. Let's just say Belinda definitely is going to be in good company with Rachel Zegler. That's for sure. I mean, it's like she's pulling a Snow White to Doctor Who. But yeah, I can't wait till everybody talks about that. But I'm not going to watch the reviews. Okay? But I'm just saying, let everybody tear this episode to shreds. Because, yeah, it deserves it. Yeah. I really feel everybody's gonna hate Belinda in this season. But yeah, I've been a fan of all the other companions the Doctor had. This is the only one that is just chock full of wokeness and all that other stuff. I mean, but in a way that's, you shouldn't yell at the Doctor. You shouldn't tell him all that. Doctor does it a certain way. He's been doing it. The Doctor's been doing it longer than anybody, and he's been traveling through space for centuries. He's been doing it for more than 50 years, and now I don't know, just all I could say is nobody's nobody's gonna buy the merchandise. I think this is just gonna be a very poorly rated season. I think, I don't know, I think it's gonna go the way of Snow White. That's for sure. Because yeah, if when they give, I'm not going to speak. I'm normally not one to speak bad of a certain character, but just I we need. I You know how there was a character, there was a holiday special or something where there was just like one character. They need to do that this time, you know, and they need to just have it be a short adventure and find a different companion. Because this is just, if not, then this season's going to be the worst season I've ever seen of Doctor Who, and that's saying something. But yeah, well, let's end on a good note.
So, what do we got here? I still haven't been on Corey's live stream.